So, welcome to the MAREG experience. This is the Defector episode. So welcome. Who are you and what do you do?
Well, my name is Alfonso, and I sell
look at him
real
looking
estate.
at the camera and just straight into...
Hi.
Hi.
Go ahead. I'm Alfonso, and I sell real estate, man.
So I'm Alfonso Fuentes. I'm a real estate agent here in El Paso now for the past 4 years, and I love what I do.
And I am Melina Diaz. I am your El Paso realtor, and I've been selling real estate for the past 5 years.
For the past 5 years. So 5 years. How many years?
Four
Four
as
years?
an agent.
Four
Before
as
I
an
was
agent?
a builder's rep. So
Okay.
For me, it's been a good 2.5 years now.
2.5 years. Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. And tell me a little bit about your experience as real estate agents. I know that we're ranging anywhere between 2 years, 5 years. Builder rep. A little bit about your experience. What is it that you've loved about real estate, and what are some things that you've hated about real estate? Ladies first.
All right, so it'll be 5 years in the fall, but I just like to, say 5 years already. So far, I love real estate. It really has tested my expertise, my knowledge, my patience, and it's made me a better person. Not only because I've become a lot more organized, and just the amount of the amount of knowledge that we have as realtors is amazing. One thing I would say I love working with people. One thing I don't like is so I don't know. I don't think I have anything.
Oh, Melina loves it all about real estate, right? Funds.
So check it out. I love real estate just because I have a big sales background. Before I was a store manager for Verizon. I've worked in furniture, so I did a lot of the hard sales.
Okay.
And one thing I didn't like about the hard sales is that you had to get them to buy now. It didn't feel like you were helping people out. It felt like you were forcing or pressuring people to buy stuff. And here in real estate, I love the fact that I'm helping people buy their home that they've been thinking about getting, fulfill people's dreams. And it's not a hard sell. It's more like becoming somebody's friend, right?
Okay.
Your client, you become friends and you're taking them to see houses, and then you don't let them settle until you find the right house for them that they love. So that's one thing that I like about real estate. That's why I've stayed for this long, because usually I get bored of certain jobs and I have to keep myself entertained and move somewhere else. But no, I'm here. I've loved it for a while. There's some things I don't like. There's a lot of egos in real estate.
Right.
I've been in quite a few brokerages. I'm actually back. And sometimes, some sales go really good, but when the bad sales go really bad, it's frustrating. You just have to push through that.
It's a good learning lesson, though.
It really is, yeah. You start putting yourself to the test.
Can I give an input there? I came into the business with no sales experience.
Okay.
So that was very hard for me to
What was your
adjust.
background in?
I was going to school to become a nurse, so I was in nursing school.
Okay.
So completely
Different change.
yeah. So it was rough, but hey, nonetheless, I'm here, growing every year.
Killing it, too.
And yourself, what's your background? And we were just talking about earlier before we started about your throwback. What was that about?
Well, for me, similar to Alfonso Fuentes here, I've also been doing sales and customer service since I was about 21 years old. Went into telecommunications, retailing with Cricket Wireless. That's when I started learning how to build rapport and just really helping people out. But like you said, it's more pushing a product versus with real estate. I mean, for me, what I really love about it was just helping people fulfill their dream and becoming homeowners.
Okay.
And so that's a really good feeling that I get when helping my clients out. The bad would be, those speed bumps that we run into throughout the transaction. But for me, the fun part is overcoming those obstacles.
Yeah.
It feels really fulfilling, to do that. So, yeah.
Of course. I mean, how often do you become friends with the people after you transact, or after you show? For us, we like to use the words transact and inventory, but to the people we work with, our clients, it's the biggest purchase of their life. It's one of the biggest investments that they're gonna be making in their life. So how often do you? I mean, how often do you become friends with them? Is that an occurrence that happens?
I would say it is. I've had a few of my clients from the past reach out to me, ask me questions, just send me referrals, of course, but, just to kind of check in with them and see how they're enjoying their home, and it's pretty cool to see, how they're just really happy creating memories.
Of course. Is that something that happens for everyone? I mean, it really, I'm being very honest, it doesn't necessarily happen to me a lot. We're not going to become the best of friends after the transaction. But what I can tell you is you're going to get some of the best customer service throughout the transaction. Throughout the process. I'm going to hold your hand. And right now I'm not necessarily selling, but when I was, that's what it was for me. Alfonso, I know that you have, and right now you said you've been here before. You're back here. You have a huge personality. Everybody knows about it. I mean, you're wearing it right now on your head. It's the first thing that everybody was talking to you about. What is your background in, and what got you to get into real estate? Why real estate when you can go out there and do everything? What is your background in?
So I decided to make a big change with the hard sales because I got tired of it. There wasn't no movement. I wasn't happy with the pay. It got stagnant, and I wanted more.
Okay.
And so one day I talked to my good friend Manny Carrera. It's funny, me and him were managers for Verizon in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina, he was in Miami. And so he got into real estate, and then I would see his videos and I was like, hey, I can do that. Like, I want to be on video too, and I want to sell houses too. It's different, And so I asked him, how do I do it? And then from there, I started working as a builder's rep in Saratoga. So that was like my way in. They call it the real estate.
Go ahead and bleep that out. I'm just kidding.
My bad. It's like the real estate boot camp. It's a great place to start, but eventually I moved on and I've grown from there, and I love it. I love what I do.
Okay. Yeah, you love what you do. Well, I mean, and that's good to hear, right? They say if you love what you do, you don't necessarily work a day in your life. You're helping people get into their homes, get into their, sometimes it's investments. I know that you're helping me personally on an off-market investment that you had. So that's always great. The relationships that you build with people throughout the years and returning clients. I know that's always great. And one thing that I've seen, and now that you're here at MAREG, is you've been at other brokerages before, right? That's why we call this the Defector episode. You guys all came to me from a different brokerage, and we've discussed on this show with other guests is they're all great brokerages, but it's really the one that you kind of fit in with. So what is it that you liked about this particular brokerage? And we can start, ladies first or over here in the middle. What is it that about this brokerage that you said, hey, you know what? This is the one that I'm going to be with for the foreseeable future, because I like to say everything's good until it's not, right? So what is it about this brokerage that you particularly liked?
That caught my attention and, kind of was what persuaded me to switch over. I've personally heard really great things about you as far as being a great businessman. So to me, I wanted to be, first off, not having my license under someone who's not in this city, because I've had brokers who were in Austin or in Dallas, and it's just, the communication is just not the greatest. So I experienced it with a couple of brokerages and I didn't like it. I wasn't too fond of it. And honestly, I also do like that you guys have Point Homes as one of your main, marketing, selling,
main attraction.
point. Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Just because I do love the builder. I started selling new construction. I wasn't a builder rep, but they just kind of threw me into, there in the woods, and hey, you figure it out, sell this product. And yeah, Point Homes has been one of my favorite builders, and that was another selling point for me. So you're here in El Paso, you have a great product, and to top it off, someone who's very intelligent, which is what I want.
I mean, it's a great thing that you say that, and I do think that having Point Homes is a big recruiting tool for us here. Not only that, I like the support staff that we have, the marketing that we have, just the creation of this. If we were to pan out and just see the people that are standing here around us, and the cameras that are all pointing at us, and the logo that goes here, like that's all part of real estate somehow, some way for this particular brokerage, you know. Yourself, Alfonso, what was it about this brokerage that you said, hey, you know what, this is a good place for me to hang my license here for the foreseeable future?
Well, I'm going to say everything, right? So before this, we were very unhappy with another brokerage. So we started interviewing quite a few brokers. We wanted to make the right decision. Mm-hmm. So reason we weren't liking the broker wasn't in town.
Yeah.
Never answers his phone. Also, the fees were astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
It just felt like everybody had their hands in our cookie jar, you know? And so as something that I got bored of, we started interviewing, and what I really liked is I was here before, the training was good. I saw how you guys grew, especially you, when I left, how you grew MAREG itself, yourself, and then you also, like JC and Julio and everybody else grew along with you. So that was one thing that I noticed, and then I liked how you have everything set up for us to succeed when it comes to having offices, when it comes to being here. I mean, I can say multiple times that I've called you, you've answered my question, and it was the right place. And then also, to be honest, we came and you met with us, and we worked out something really good. So
yeah, I mean that was pretty cool, huh? I still remember when you called me, and I was out at lunch, and you're like, hey, we're looking to make a move. And I was like, when? It was like a random ass day. Yeah, it was probably like Wednesday lunchtime. I wasn't recruiting, I wasn't anything, and we're looking to make a move. When? Right now. And I was like, okay, like now? Yeah, we'll meet you in your office in 15 minutes. And I'm like, well, can you give me 30? I just ordered. and we met, and then from there, it was pretty easy. I think the negotiation was not that hard. And here we are. What is it that you like about it?
Well, for me, I mean, I know I only have 2.5 years in, but my first brokerage was with. Are we dropping names here or no?
We'll bleep it out if we have to.
It was with Pin Drop Realty, and there, of course, I met a good friend of mine, and he became my mentor. Also had the opportunity for division president of, our previous brokerage. So for me, it was more like trying to learn and become more self-sufficient within, the first 2 years. And I wanted to get out of my comfort zone, just try something different. And, after talking to my friends here, knowing the opportunities where, we can make more money and grow, and then also seeing what, MAREG had to offer as far as the marketing, the listing with Point Homes, just the growth that I've seen you as well. Because I remember meeting you, my 4th month into real estate.
Yeah.
And so, just wanted to get out of my comfort zone and just grow, take it to the next level.
Of course. And when you say, are we dropping names? It's not necessarily, I personally take every single, because I've been at different brokerages myself until I became a broker. And I think without, taking those bumps and bruises along the way, I wouldn't have learned how to do certain things, or I wouldn't have learned how to negotiate certain things because of the places that I was at, So I'm grateful for the previous places that I was at. And I think that's what helped me personally develop a brokerage that is geared for the agent, because sometimes, we work so hard. I think you work so hard to get a commission, to get a sale, to help someone, right? And then for you to lose it all on fees, for you to lose it on, you got to give me this percentage here and then another little 2% here. By the time you sit there and you add all the percentages, I'm at a 50-50, I'm at a 40-60 or something like that, So that's why I think I created, or how I created this brokerage in mind, by not nickel and diming the agent to death. I think it's more of a long play. If an agent is happy, they're going to perform long term, and if I have that long term sight, then I know that my money or my, because a broker, we make the money, and for people who don't know the way a brokerage works is, as agents, they have to hang their license per se with a broker. You know, you guys have to find the best broker. So we have to, I always ask, what does your broker give you in exchange for what they're taking? You know,
Right.
and I see some other places where they're taking, I don't know, 60, 50. And I also see some other places that they don't take anything. There's a company here where you pay a flat fee once a month and they take absolutely nothing. And they're a great company and it's a great model for certain people. But I just think that we're looking for people with like-minded people that fall in this particular category for this brokerage. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree
Yes,
100%.
for sure.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
I mean, what is it that you do, Fonz? I'm looking at straight at you, but for fun. I mean, like I said, you're a big personality. Everybody that hangs around with you, they know they're gonna know that you wear your heart on your sleeve. So, what is it that you do for fun, if I may ask? I mean, without pointing to, can we blur out that?
The salad hat.
So,
Nice.
as you know, there's a few things I do recently for fun. You know, I like to go out and drink. You know, it's not a secret. You know,
Not a secret.
okay, my girlfriend go out a lot, and but other things I really got into recently was golf. I've been golfing quite a bit. It started with actually Fonzie and our other friend who invited me to golf. I didn't know how to golf. I just went and I did
You
terrible.
still don't.
Hey, he's getting better. I'll say that, man. We'll give it to him.
I did terrible, and so I hate sucking at something. At least if I'm I want to be able to like play and have fun. So I just started getting into it and practicing. And I still suck, but you know, at least I can keep up a little
But
bit.
now you suck with practice.
Stop.
Okay.
The other thing I'm really big on, and I actually recently shot a TikTok because I wanted people to know that yes, I'm all about real estate, but I have other things I'm passionate about. And one thing that everybody knows 24/7 that I'm passionate about is the Dallas Cowboys. I'm wearing a Dallas hat right now.
The Dallas Cowboys.
Let's go, Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboy
Oh, you're a
colors.
Cowboys fan
I'm
too?
a Cowboy fan.
Okay.
Ridiculous.
But I just love the Cowboys. I love everything about them. Recently, we had the draft, so I did a little TikTok about it. Just because a lot of people don't know how the draft works or what it's
Go
about.
Birds.
You know, so it's just different things like that. I love the Cowboys, and you must know what I'm into or what I do.
If you must.
It's like on second thought.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Perfect. So you're a big Dallas Cowboy fan. You practice a lot of golf right now. That's what you're into. I know that there's like a little rivalry here between the teams that are going on. Who's your team?
I am an Eagles fan. Go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
How'd their last Super Bowl go?
Their last Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, not so great.
Chokes.
Go Birds.
When was the last time you guys were in a Super Bowl?
1995, but by that time we had 5. So you know, you gotta think of it as a long run.
Yeah.
So
Oh, you guys
Super
are
Bowl
going for that
1960.
long play for sure.
Eventually.
You'll get there. How do you guys think you did in the draft? How do you think that you guys did in this draft?
I think we picked up some pretty good heavy hitters. I mean,
I think we picked up some great players.
So
We
I
lost
mean,
some
I'll be
good
honest with you.
players.
The Eagles got some great draft picks.
Yes, we
I
did.
can't, dog them for that. But overall, the Cowboys did really great. We needed to stop the run. So the first draft pick was just straight a run stopper from Michigan, Mozzie Smith. So I think we did all right. And then our other draft picks, we picked up a really good running back who's kind of short, but
he's fast.
he's fast and he could be like a next Kobe.
Didn't you guys just lose Ezekiel?
Ezekiel got old.
Yeah,
With the running back, your
Sorry.
lifespan. So a lot of people don't know this in football. Before we go back to real estate, but the shortest lifespan as a football player, like the position that doesn't last the longest, is a running back, because you take so much hits. It's you get older, you can't be as fast. So that's a position that you see that doesn't last as long in the NFL. Just a little FYI. So of course Zeke is not the same Zeke from 2016 that you saw.
Okay. Cool. So you think you did good in the draft?
Yes.
So what's gonna be your excuse this upcoming season?
Hey, we have no excuse. I can guarantee we're going to be in the playoffs again, and from there, we'll see what happens.
Hey, they suck with pride, okay? Be
Hey,
nice.
That's
Be
a
nice.
good thing. Sucking with pride. No, I mean, there's no. I personally, I don't follow football as much as you do per se. I am a Tom Brady fan, and you give me a lot of shit for it. But I like the personal sport. I like the individuality of it. I like the fact, like for instance, my son, I put him into wrestling. I put him into golf. So he does the individual sports. I think I personally like that a little bit better than I do team sports. I know at some point they're going to have to be like in some sort of team sport so they can learn how to get along with other kids and whatnot. But I'm more of an individual sport kind of guy because I would like for me to be responsible for my own results. And that brings us back a little bit to the whole real estate, thing. When it comes to individual results, how many families did you help this last year, the year 2022?
In 2022, I helped 26 families.
26 families get into their homes.
Yes, sir. Well, it was a mixture of sellers and buyers.
Okay, so just you helped 26 families basically transact.
Yeah, right.
Whether
correct.
it be buying, selling, investing, things like that.
Yeah.
Cool. And yourself?
I sold. Let me rephrase that. I helped 34 families either
34.
buy or sell here in El Paso. That's correct.
Awesome. And yourself, Melina?
24.
24. Ooh,
Yes.
So I mean, you guys are. I think that's part of the reason why you guys click so good together, right? Because you guys even share an office space at the other building, because you guys kind of iron sharpens iron. I like to think of that. The fact that 24, 32. You said, Alfonso?
32.
32. I like the iron sharpens iron, which brings me back to the fact that the people here at the brokerage, at least, and the different trainings that we hold and the different things that we do for the agents and for external agents such as the realtor tours, it's about iron sharpening iron. I think I'm a big believer in that one. Just because I know one of the teams you were on before, there's not a whole lot of iron sharpening iron, not the previous one. I mean, shout out to my boy Jesse Loya.
Right.
But maybe the previous one.
Yes.
So I like that environment. I like the fact that when you guys come into the office and you guys all have your whiteboards, and it's like, all right, these are my goals. This is the amount of calls I'm making today. These are the amount of calls that I'm making today. I know that you recently started with the cold calling, from those leads, but who do you have an issue with making the cold calls? What is it that you think about when you're gonna get? Is there like a ritual that you do when you're gonna get into to cold call mode, or is it just you go in and you dive into the deep end?
Honestly, I learned just to smile as soon as that phone starts ringing, because if not, I freak out.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just in here.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking when you're doing cold calling, but smiling through it, because people can feel the smile on the other side of the phone. So I think smiling is definitely a good
Smile and
Let's
dial,
help me.
baby.
smile and dial, baby.
There you
Oh,
go.
I like that.
Yeah.
Basically, I just sit down, pick up the phone, and start calling people. Just talk to them like a
I
normal
like how
person.
this
Pick up the
guy-
phone and start dialing.
Hey, I just dial.
I just go in,
Born making calls.
I try to act like if I'm calling you, like if I'm calling somebody that I know. Hey,
Be
Mr.
personal.
Robert
That's one thing
or
I like
something.
about him. He's super chill with his calls. So thank you for unintentionally sharing that.
Yeah.
with me.
No. He's good. He has what's it called? The fear of approach. He doesn't have it. Like, and when I'm saying that is like making a phone call, because I'll be honest. I'll be, fuck, am I gonna make this call? And hold on. It's because I don't have the right music on. And hold on. It's because let me put on my headphones, and then next thing you know, it's lunch, and but let me just go to lunch and I'll call him when I get back. But this guy over here, just boom, he gets on it. All right, who do I need to call? Oh, this person. Boom. Even in the trainings, hey, we're role playing, and Alfonso, one big quality about him is he's not like, oh no, go around to the next person. No, he's boom, I'm going for it. All right, what are we doing? What are we role playing? That's what we're role playing. I'm on it, and that's a great quality to have. It's a great quality to have, and I think that's
Super.
only going to take you to better places. And of course, the national average is between 6 to 8 families served per year, and you guys here surpassed it, 3 to 4 times the national average. So I applaud you guys for doing that type of work. What is something that if there's somebody out there that is looking to buy a home, why should they work with Alfonso Yanez?
Oh man, That was a good way to put me on the spot there. Well, I mean, for me, I think I'm very personable with my clients. You know, I try to find out what their goals are, and really just try to help them, you know, achieve that goal. So I think for me, showcasing my ability and my willingness to help them and my expertise based off of what I've gone through with, you know, previous clients, how to, you know, outbid if there's a bidding war situation, or, you know, if the house has been sitting on the market for, you know, a long period of time, you know, working out numbers that would be more favorable for the buyer if I'm representing the buyer. So those are just some of the, I think, the values that I bring for my clients to make them want to work with me.
Perfect. Alfonso, if somebody, I'm a person that's looking for the first time. I found you on your TikToks, you know, what is it? Why am I going to want to work with you?
So, for one, what sets me apart from, any other agent here is I was born and raised here in El Paso. I love El Paso itself because I've lived in other areas in North Carolina and South Carolina. I lived in both those areas, and I'm really passionate about my city, the Sun City. Two, I'm ex-military, so if there is a military family out there, I can connect better with them than any other person that hasn't been in the military, just because I know their lifestyle. And three, I love to educate my clients. So you, as a new home buyer, I wouldn't just take you out to, hey, let's go see houses. I like to first sit you down, right? Let you know how the process is going to work. Focus on finding out what your buying power is, because we want to make sure we're looking in the right areas and for the right price, right? And which is something that you could afford and you're comfortable with. And then what I do after that, once we get you set up with your financing, I do a buyer's orientation. Okay. And in this buyer's orientation, it could be through FaceTime if you can't make it in person, or it's in my office. You know, I take time to sit down and tell you the way the market is working currently, you know, educate you on the type of buyers that sellers are looking for. And, you know, this house has been on the market for a while. We got to go like this. And if it's been on the market for a weekend, you know, this is how hard we have to go on our offer. And then I actually teach you how to put in offers, so that by the time we are looking at homes, you already know how to put in an offer. So it makes the process go way smoother than it would normally if you didn't know anything about real estate. Okay. And I've had really good success like that with new home buyers, with sellers as well. The listing appointment is a big tool for educating somebody. And I recently had a listing appointment where I was competing with somebody else, but with the training that I've had, the multiple listing appointments that I've been to, I did really well. I educated the clients really well, and I got the listing over the other agent.
Congratulations, man! Nice. Congratulations. That's definitely great to hear. Melina, if I'm a buyer and because I know that you dub yourself your real estate agent, am I right, or what is it?
Your El Paso
Your
Realtor.
El Paso Realtor. There you go. So if myself and my wife are scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, and we find your El Paso Realtor, what sets you apart? What sets you apart from the other El Paso Realtors?
Well, for one, I'm going to have to piggyback off of what you said. Educating your clients is huge. Setting the right expectations, because buyers, sellers both think, you know, sometimes, oh, it's going to be easy. I can do whatever I want at whatever price point. But in reality, it's like, what can you afford? So education is huge. I'm not sure if it's because I'm a female, but I'm a nurturer. So I am going to guide you, hold you by the hand, and do my absolute best to just make the process as fun and as smooth as possible. Even though sometimes it's not smooth, it's a very emotional process, a lot of ups and downs, but I do prepare my clients prior to searching for a home. This is what could happen, but this is what I'm aiming for. So I would just, you know, ask you the main questions. What monthly payment are you looking for? Because you could want a home that's $300,000, but you want a monthly payment at, let's just say, $2,100. That's just not going to happen. So I would educate you with the lender, look at our numbers and our options, and just take care of you.
I mean, and it's really, really good what you're saying about educating. And you hit the nail right on the head there, where people are thinking, you know, my expectation is here, but my reality is here. And it's sometimes our job although we're trying to help as many people as we can and we're trying to nurture and things like that, it's our job to be kind of like the reality setter and saying, hey, that's unrealistic, Mr. and Mrs. Client. And a lot of people will say, how come you, it comes back to our attitude and the way we are as just people around people that are not in the industry, right? It's like, sometimes you're a little straightforward or sometimes you're too blunt. But we do that on a daily basis. I mean, you had to do it with 24 families last year where, hey, you know what? This is your reality. Let me be your cheerleader once we get you there. So I think the education part of it, I think is something that's definitely going to help your clients in the future, right? How are you in comparison to last year? What have you seen in this market, and how are you doing this year over year? How are you doing, Melina?
El Paso market is great.
Right? It's on fire.
You know what? It really is, though. I mean, like, I have people who I know that are in Colorado, and some of the people there, they're in a buyer's market.
Yeah.
So when they're coming down here or when we talk, it's like, bro, we are still kind of in a seller's market here. So the market hasn't really shifted, in my opinion.
Okay.
And if it has, maybe a tiny bit, but nothing to where the buyers have the ball on their court. No, it's, in my opinion, from what I've seen, it's still kind of a seller's market, depending on what price point you're looking at and how hot the home is. If it's a 10 out of 10, best believe you're going to have multiple offers. So you're going to have to go in best and highest.
Definitely.
What was your other question?
No, it's just how are you doing year over year this year in comparison to last year, both in numbers, whether it be transactions or families served or income, or what do you think you're trending to have a better year this year than last year?
I would say yes. I had a slow start.
Okay.
I'm not going to say why. I don't want to make excuses, but I did have a slow start. However, I feel as if I'm already gaining traction again. My goal is to help 50 families. So when I hit that number, yes, I'm going to surpass last year's numbers. And the year before, I didn't do so good. But because when I was
That's the attitude.
No, I want to be transparent. You know, if we're going to, whoever's watching, you know, I was on a team to where, hey, iron wasn't sharpening iron and it just wasn't the greatest. So I was just out there selling homes, and I think, I can't remember how many homes I sold, but it wasn't what I sold last year.
Okay. Alfonso, year over year, how do you think I mean, it's not a matter of thinking how you're doing. It's pretty black and white. How are you doing this year in comparison to last year?
I'm pretty much doing similar numbers. The way I track it is I go to the MLS and it lets me know what amount of sales I had last year and then the amount of sales I had this year. So they're about the same. I think I'm like at 9 closings for the month, or 10. I need to double check. But I think I'm a lot more relaxed than I was last year. And the reason I'm saying that is because last year I had to really push hard and constantly be overworking myself because of the amount of fees I had over there to make the standard of living that I'm expected to have. And so now that I'm here, I'm a lot more relaxed. It's the similar numbers, but I'm not as stressed. So year to year, it's still the same, you know, numbers wise. I'm still doing what I did last year because of the work ethic that I put in, where I'm always at the office. I'm always following up with clients. I'm always trying to set up appointments and stuff like that. But I feel like I'm a lot less stressed out this year, which is great, you know, because last year was just crazy. So I haven't really noticed that crazy of a shift. There are some, when it comes to the market itself, there are some areas that are a little bit different than they were last year. Like Horizon maybe slowed down a little bit. East Side slowed down a little bit at a certain price point. For me, since I live in the West Side and I have a lot of West Side clients, at a certain price range, that area is still crazy. That area is still getting multiple offers for homes at a certain price range. So when it comes to the market itself, it's still a seller's market depending on the area that you're looking at and the price range.
Awesome. And how about yourself? Yes.
Excuse me. I would definitely agree with both Fuentes and Melina. Well, for me, I mean, starting in real estate when the pandemic was, you know, a thing, it was a hardcore seller's market. Inventory was low. I mean, literally every buyer had to come in, ready to buy and ready to compete. And so I have seen the market shift, to where it is in certain areas, certain zip codes, condition of the house, like Melina said, if it's a 10 out of 10, in the 3.8 zip code, they're Far East, chances are it's still going to have, assuming that it's also in a good price point, it's going to have multiple offers. So, but yeah, I mean, to that point, Horizon has slowed down. I'm able to help buyers get their closing costs covered, only 7 days on the market. So, as far as the growth for me, I mean, I think since my background, financially speaking, income-wise, real estate has been, for me, a big change in a positive manner, income-wise. And so even when I was with my previous broker, with all those fees, I didn't know the amount of potential that I could make, with not so many hands in the cookie jar. So now that I've switched with MAREG, financially speaking, it's been looking really nice for me on that end as well. Year to date, I've closed on 8 homes so far, and I have at the moment 6 clients under contract to buy. So just trying to keep on going and keep that traction, that consistency for me. So
and going back to a little bit about what both of you said in regards to the buyer or seller's market, I know a lot of people right now are running for the door with the high interest rates and this and that, but what some agents are failing to communicate is the fact that where you had the 3% interest rates, you also had 25 offers waiting for the house. Yeah. Where now it's still competitive, but because the interest rates are higher, it's weeded out a lot of a lot of the buyers maybe or a lot even sellers. It's weeded out some people, and the people that are actually on the market are serious about it, whether it's a buyer or seller. So if you're looking to sell, right now is a good time. And if you're looking to buy, right now is a good time as well. Right. Technically what they say is a good time is 20 years ago, right? So there's 2 times, 20 years ago and today.
And right now.
Yeah. Right? So it's a great time to buy or sell depending on where you're standing. And I thank you guys for this message that you guys brought to just the people watching right now. The editing team afterwards is going to take this. They're going to chop it up and they're going to, make us look smarter than what we are. Just kidding. No.
Thank goodness.
It's going to, but it really is. We're trying to portray a message of the time is now. The time, you can't sit there and try to time the market. If you knew how to do that, then you'd know the numbers to the lottery, right? But it's whenever it's the right time for you to sell. What are the reasons for you to sell? What are the reasons for you to buy? And I think that's always the right time. Whenever it's your turn, whenever you have the correct reasons, it's the right time. Yes?
Agreed. Yes.
Awesome. I want to thank you guys so much for coming on today. I hope we can do this maybe towards the end, in a couple of months to see what your progress is like, where you're at, and also on an individual basis to get to know, so El Paso can get to know you guys, not just El Paso, because we also service Las Cruces, New Mexico, and any other areas that we're going to be servicing here in the near future. And I hope you guys, I wish you guys nothing but the best, and I hope we have continued success together.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Dallas, that's on 3.
Dallas, that's on 3.
That's 3 MAREG.
That's it. Thank you.